So today's topic is probably going to come as a shock to most people who know me because I'm such a bubbly and positive and optimistic person all the time, and I'm all about like empowering yourself. And while that truly is who I am at my core and how I am like 95% of the time, I do have struggles and I do have things that I face, and I kind of feel like maybe sometimes people don't understand or think that I'm able to relate to different situations just because I'm so positive and happy all the time. So I really wanted to just kind of get real with you guys and just let you know kind of my background and my personal story of some of the stuff that I struggle with, and hopefully be able to help you, because I know that depression is something that so many people struggle with, at least at some point in their lifetime, no matter, what degree of depression, no matter how mild or major. It's all important to address, and I truly do believe, even through struggling it on my own, I truly do believe that you have the power to control how you feel. And with the tips that I'm going to share with you today, I'm going to share my routine about how I get myself out of that when I kind of fall into a more depressed state. So first I want to share with you my background story. So I struggled a lot as a teenager with depression. There was probably a good 2, 3, maybe even 4 years where I just lost all my interest in pretty much anything. I just wanted to cry and run away all the time. I would get angry and upset with people for no reason. I didn't even know why I was upset. I was just annoyed by them. And I would just feel awful all the time and just want to isolate myself in my room and not see or talk to anybody. And that's really unhealthy, and I probably should have gotten some help, some professional help at that time, but I didn't. And thankfully enough, life went on. Pretty much when I met my husband, I was 16 at the time. Once I met him, I feel like that was kind of the turning point for me where things started to get better in my life. And I was able to let go of the unhealthy people in my life who were really holding me down. But since then, things have gotten much better, and even though those were tough times, I found a way to get through it. Even now, I still occasionally will fall back into a much milder form of depression, definitely not anything nearly as bad as I went through as a teenager, but I will get a day or a few days, at the very most, usually a week, where I feel sad and I feel bogged down by my own insecurities, jealousy over other people's glamorous lives, self-doubt, feelings that I'm not good enough or that I'm not going to be able to succeed with the things that I'm trying to do. And I think that's all very normal. I think we all face feelings like that at some point in our lives. And unfortunately, I hate to admit it, but it's just the truth. I don't always pick myself back up right away, and that's always my own fault because I know exactly what to do. I have this positivity routine that when I do it, I immediately feel better and I immediately get my energy back and I'm back to my normal self. So when I sit and wallow in it, it's only my fault and I'm choosing to do that. But it does help to know that I have something to fall back on, that when I'm done feeling that way, I can get back on track. So my hope for you with this video is that if you don't have a routine or you don't know how to get yourself out of that rut and those just terrible feelings, that by sharing with you what I do, that maybe a few of them will stick out to you and you'll be able to try them, and that it'll help you to live your best, happiest, most healthy life. And just know that you are worth it and you are special and you can do whatever it is that you put your mind to do. So the first thing that I always do, my go-to when I start to feel down, is I go to inspirational quotes. So on Pinterest, I have a board called Inspire that I pin all the inspirational quotes, motivational quotes, empowering quotes, things that really stand out to me and make me feel better. And there's a ton. I probably have 100 or 200 of them. And when I feel down, I'll just go through and I read them and I think about what they mean, and I just really take them to heart, and I just keep reading them. And a lot of times that in and of itself will kind of break me out of the funk and help me to feel better. I even do this on a pretty regular basis, even when I'm not feeling down, just as a maintenance kind of preventative thing to keep me on top of my game. Another thing I do to pick myself back up when I'm feeling down in the dumps is to listen to some empowering, upbeat music. So when I was depressed as a teenager, I would always want to just put on sad, depressing songs that just kind of fed into my depression, and it kind of felt good in the moment, but it never did anything to break me out of how I was feeling. It just kept me down where I was. So now I've changed that, and I have a playlist on my Spotify called Pumped that I would be happy to share with you if you wanted to leave me a comment down below, or I will share it over on my blog, candlesandcoffee.com. And in there, I put only songs that have upbeat, happy tunes and positive, empowering lyrics that make you feel good. You know, there's just some songs that you just can't help but smile, or you can't help but want to dance to when you hear them come on. Songs with messages about how, you know, you're worth it, how life is good, things about how you can succeed if you try hard enough. Things that are gonna inspire me and not drag me down. And that segues me into my next one, which is to dance. It is so hard to stay upset when you're dancing. And you don't have to dance with people, in front of people. It can just be in your house, in your room, wherever, but just put on something that you can't help but smile to and get up and dance. And maybe at first it's gonna be unnatural and hard and you have to force yourself to start, but once you really start and get into it, it'll just break that habit and break those emotions and just make you feel better. Also, dancing is a form of exercise, so it releases endorphins, which is our brain's chemical that lets us know that all is well and reduces our perception of pain. Another thing that is so important to do when everything seems negative around you is to practice gratitude. We all have something that we can be thankful for, no matter what hand life has dealt you, whether it's your health, your friends, your family, just the clothes on your back, the food you have to eat, whatever it may be. We all, if we search hard enough, can find something that we are grateful for. I love the quote by Gandhi, "I cried because I had no shoes until I met a man who had no feet." So there's always somebody out there who has it worse off than we do. So just remember, there's things to be grateful for. And a wonderful thing to do is to go for a gratitude walk. So basically just take a walk and think about all the things that you're grateful for and count your blessings in life. The combination of getting the exercise with the fresh air and then shifting your mind to positive things is just a wonderful combination to break you out of that struggle that you've been dealing with. Another thing that I love to do is to take a step back and stop thinking about myself and just look at the bigger picture. I am just a little speck on this earth, and the earth is just a little speck in the galaxy, and the Milky Way is just a little speck in the entire universe. It's like, in the big picture of things, me and my problems, even though they seem so vast to me, it's really nothing in compared to the big scheme of things. And then I think about how big I am compared to the tiny little trillions of microscopic cells that make up my body, the things that make me think and speak and hear, taste, feel, smell, everything that I can do, movement, it all is because of these trillions of little cells. So you are a miracle, I'm a miracle, and just remember that. Like, the problems are big, and I'm not trying to say that your problems don't matter, because they do, but just remember there's something bigger, and it's okay to feel sad sometimes, but just remember, it's all okay. And another good thing is to go out and help people, give to other people. It feels good to give. So another great thing that you can try is to meditate. So sit in a quiet place, take 10 minutes, and just close your eyes. Take slow, deep breaths and try to relax your body. Try to push all those negative feelings and emotions out and just pay attention to what's happening inside of your body. Focus on the breathing. Notice the little background noises and the little things that you feel, maybe little tensions in your body, and just try to be for a little bit. Just be. Another thing that is really important to do when you're feeling stuck and down is to talk to somebody. I believe that everybody should have somebody in their life that they can depend on and go to with problems and just open up to, because sometimes that's all you need is just a hug and a listening ear. For me, my support system is my mom and my husband, and of course there's other family members and stuff that I could go to, but they're just the people that I'm the most comfortable to go to about any situation, and I know that they'll just be there for me and hug me and love me and just let me just vent and talk about whatever it is that's holding me down. And maybe you don't have, a mother or a husband that you can do that with. Maybe it's a friend or a teacher or I don't know, whoever it is in your life. But try to find somebody that you trust, that you can just talk to. And it's especially good if it's somebody who will help to give you advice to pick you back up to, and not just feed into the negative emotions, but actually help you to get out of them. And the next thing that I do sometimes is journaling. Sometimes it's so helpful to just write your thoughts down. I know for me, I can get certain thoughts in my head and then I just keep perseverating on them and thinking about them again and again and again. And it's not until I actually write them down on paper or like in a Word document or something, just get them out of my head and onto something concrete, then I feel like I can finally move past them. And if you don't have somebody to talk to, then a journal is a great way that you can kind of share those feelings, but nobody else will see them or hear them. And then usually after I do that and I give it some time, in a day or two, I feel better and then I just delete it, or, if it's a journal, it just stays there. But try it. I know once I solidify my ideas on paper, it's easy for me to let them go. The next thing that's so good to do is positive affirmations. Give yourself a pep talk. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. It may seem so silly to do, but where I usually do that a lot of times is in the car when I'm on my way to work. If I'm having like a bad morning, then when I'm on my way to work, I will just like tell myself like, you've got this, you are awesome, like you can do it. Whatever it is that I need to hear at the time, like you're beautiful, or you are a positive influence to other people around you. And then just keep telling yourself that until you believe it. You might not believe it the first few times, but just keep telling yourself these things, and then eventually it'll sink in and you'll actually start to believe it. I love to tell myself that I am in charge of how I feel, and today I am choosing happiness. And then don't forget about the power of prayer. If you believe in a higher power, reach out to him and ask him to help you get over the things that are holding you down in life and the things that you feel like you can't get over yourself. I know that a lot of times for me, when I turn to prayer, things have a way of just working themselves out. And even if they don't work themselves out right away, I usually will find that I have more of a peace to deal with them, or I'm a little bit stronger to get through them. Sometimes when I'm having a really bad day and no matter what I try, I just can't seem to break through it. Sometimes it's because I just need to cry it out. Those negative emotions and feelings can get just trapped in there, and those hormones are just trapped inside. And crying is a good, healthy outlet for releasing them. And then once I have a good cry, sometimes that's all I need to feel better. And then I can move on and get on with the day. And then when all else fails, I just go to sleep. When I'm feeling bad for like no reason, or I know that I'm being ridiculous, but I just can't seem to break out of it, going to sleep is like hitting the restart button. If it's early in the day, then I just take a nap, or later in the night, then I'll, go to sleep earlier. But sleeping is a good way to just restart and then say, you know what? Screw today, we'll make tomorrow a better day. And there has not been a time that I have done all of these and it hasn't broken me out of my funk. And I don't always need to do all of them. Sometimes I just need to do one or a few of them, and then sometimes you need to try more of them, and in different combinations too. But I've never not been able to pick myself back up doing these things. And if all else fails, if you try all of these things and none of them work for you, then there's no shame in seeking out professional help. Sometimes you need to have a counselor to help you work through your issues, or you need to see a medical professional because there's a chemical imbalance of hormones in your brain and you need some medication to help you get over that. But seek help. If you can't break out of your own funk and you can't help yourself, then you need to find somebody else who can help you. And there's absolutely no shame in doing that. Well, this video is pretty long already, but I do feel that this was a really important topic to discuss because I know that there are so many people out there struggling with at least some form of depression. And I know that this video is going to help even just a handful of people. So if you did find it helpful, then please leave me a comment down below. Also, give this video a big thumbs up, and if you have not checked out my blog, candlesandcoffee.com, then you can head on over there and I will post my playlist of songs that I have in my pumped playlist to just keep me upbeat and going. So if you want some good song recommendations, you can go and check that out. Also, if you just like some recommendations on products that I use to stay energized and feeling my best, then reach out to me and I will be happy to share that with you as well. And if you have not subscribed already, then you can do that right here in the corner. And I will talk to you soon. Have a beautiful day. Bye.